FDL Paranormal Podcast. We are at our awesome podcast location at Chirk Mill in Wrexham.
We are. Right, today we're going to talk about what you're shaking your head for.
I'm not shaking my head.
Yes,
Okay,
you
we
are.
just cut that bit out.
No, we're going to be who we are. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Be who you are.
So
There's no
obviously
far
in your skin.
Be comfortable in your skin and be who you are.
I don't like them. Good book.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about various things today.
We are.
We're
Excellent.
going to talk about some equipment, things that we use, things that we like, things that we don't like.
Yeah, because there are certain person out there that has recently done a podcast, was it? Or some kind of YouTube kind of video. Anyway, basically debunking and saying a lot of the equipment that we use, not just us, but other investigators, is a load of rubbish. And we don't actually believe that it is, do we, guys? Because, you know, although you get, you know, some things, you know, and we debunk it ourselves, don't we?
100%.
But the way that we use it, you can't debunk some of the responses that we get. So what we want to do today is just show you guys that some of the things that this person was saying is absolute twaddle.
A bit like a equipment workshop.
Yeah, this is basically an equipment workshop.
Fantastic.
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Michael?
I was going to say, every piece of equipment that is used is run by an app. It just won't work unless it had a computer app head in it to work. It's like I speak to an app developer, which goes down to equipment and stuff, but stuff doesn't work unless it has an app inside it. It doesn't matter because it's not a phone, it's not an app. It still has the program inside it because it needs an app to run that system.
Yeah.
So anything.
So
basically.
give an example.
So
an
example. So like the SB7 Spirit Box everyone uses. Yeah, they say, oh yeah, it's radio waves and radio this, which it's good. It's not always correct, obviously, like we said. Yeah. And obviously, when we first started, we've always said we will use every piece of equipment out there until we can debunk it. And we're down to a few items, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a few more bits we've got to test out, but we're down to a few items which can't debunk. So, for instance, the simple cat ball. Everybody debunks them. But the trouble is, I can't debunk them, my personal reasons, is we was in a prison and I put a cat ball down the side of me. I got some people to run up on the first floor, put a cat ball in a cell up there. Second floor, another cat ball. And the third floor, another cat ball. And when we called out and I said, where are you as a spirit? Are you near me? The cat ball went off beside me. And I said, okay, fair enough. Obviously, yeah, fair enough. You're next to me. I might have vibrated the floor or anything like that. And I said, if you can hear me, can you go and find the cat ball up on level 3? And then looked up, level 3 cell was lighting up from the cat ball. And I thought...
And there was nobody up there?
No one was up there. We were all back downstairs. There was only 4 of us there. And then I was like, oh, this can't be true. Obviously, because I like to debunk things, because it can't be that good. When it's genuinely that good to be true, it is. Yeah. It normally is. But...
So what sort of things have been said for the reasons why cat balls are rubbish?
Because a lot of people were saying, because obviously they're very sensitive, and I think how a cat ball works, it is basically a loose connection, basically. So when it touches, obviously when the ball rolls, say you've got 2 wires like that, and they touch, and they come off. They come off, but obviously you've got to move them. And some are really sensitive, and we've sat there and went cat ball, and we've had to go and reset them.
Yeah.
Shake them up, get them back to where they are, because obviously they're just 2 wires. But which a lot can be explained with temperature, obviously when stuff gets hot, it expands. When stuff gets cold, it contracts. And it's like this, exactly the same with the torch theory. When you take a torch off,
so I've seen that.
So when you take a torch to the edge, and then all of a sudden it comes on, it's getting hot, and then it gets too hot, and then the connection will come apart, and then when it cools down, it will shut again and then come back on again.
But I have actually seen people do that, right? And they haven't just left it there so it's coming on and then going off, right? They've asked specific questions and asked it to come on at a precise, moment when they've asked a question, whether it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
And then it has either come on or gone off. But then it's nothing. And then, 5 minutes later, they've asked another question. And then it will come on again. And it's really, really responsive. So although you can debunk it, I do think there is something, sometimes,
an element to it.
There's an element that attracts.
Just like going back to what we're saying about the cat balls, generally I think the cat balls that we have and where we purchase these from, these are highly non-sensitive.
Yeah.
Non-sensitive, because we've had cat balls where literally a breeze would set them off.
Yeah,
right.
And now we've got these little tripods to stick them in. Go on.
They're not even on.
Little tripods to stick them in.
That's us interviewing.
That is the REM pod, because we're really close to it.
We'll just take that up there. So they sit on little stands like that. And these balls, I'll show you in a minute when it stops, are really hard. You can see. I'm hitting it. I'm turning it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Going on.
But then it's...
And then it turns itself off.
Then it turns itself off. Right, let me do that again.
Get it straight. You're never going to get that.
No, I'm just...
No.
God, is it turned off again?
Is it turned off?
Shake it.
It's turned off.
Oh, it likes to turn itself off.
But is that paranormal?
No.
No, that's not paranormal. That's a...
Is that turned itself off again?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Why is that doing that?
Oh, wait.
We've got a cat ball that don't like to go on.
Yeah, rather than the other way.
Come on. Yeah, it's working.
Oh, it is working. It's just
So,
me. It's just me then.
yeah.
So yeah,
It needs a good shake.
It needs a good shake for it to go off. And some cat balls that we've had before in the past, you've literally got to blow on it to go off. So I do think it's very dependent on how much you're spending and where you're getting them from.
Yeah.
On the cat ball situation. And people say, yeah, it could be set off by clapping, all this kind of nonsense. But it is nonsense at the end of the day. And there is nothing out there that's conclusive that will show that it's being interacted with paranormally.
No.
There's nothing out there.
And
no one knows.
Yeah.
so basically, so there's obviously with equipment, there's so much equipment out there, and I think people are monopolising on the fact that ghost hunting or paranormal investigations have gone through the roof. So, for instance, when we've been doing it for years now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing it for a fair few years. So a lot of stuff was cheap. Not a lot of people were selling stuff. But now the big booms come. A lot of people are monopolising on selling equipment,
Making a dosharuni.
Yeah, and the equipment. To be honest with you, the equipment is dirt cheap to make. Really, for a simple REM pod, to make one, because I've made my own one, I think it costs price
about
15, 20 pound.
Yeah, 20 quid.
And now I think if you go online to find a REM pod, you go, oh, £300. £300 for what? It's not.
It's just a board.
Yeah, it's just a board with an app on it with a few wires. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, but there's like people put out like these boxes, these echo boxes, which I hate because there's a lot of pareidolia with it because it's echoing. You're in the dark. Your mind's trying to make out words and
Oh, I know.
and it's
what
very
device,
suggestive.
Yeah.
But like with the Echo boxes everybody's got, all it is an SB7 with 2 guitar pedals in it. So there's obviously the SB7, which obviously you get the white noise. If you get a guitar pedal linked to it, you can take out the white noise, and then you can get another guitar pedal to create an echo. So that's all it is.
Does that machine? I'm not very familiar with that kind of machine, but does that machine need Bluetooth to work?
No, well, you can set it up to run Bluetooth speakers and stuff like that. It just runs through a Bluetooth speaker. There's so many different ways you can use it. But then, if you're Bluetoothing it, you're using an app.
Yeah.
You have to use an app.
Yeah.
So, thanks. And it's like,
Wow.
we use...
Can I use his name?
No.
Oh, I can't.
No. So, but there's no scientific proof anyway in any of these devices talking to spirits. There's no scientific proof.
I was going to say about this, the particular app that we use, which is, can I say the name of the app? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So we use the Spirit Talker app. Now the reason why, and people are going to go, oh, why do you use that app? Blah, 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 blah. But the reason why we use this Spirit Talker app is because as it currently stands, we can't fully debunk it.
Debunk what comes through.
Because we went on an investigation last weekend. Now, I knew the place that we were investigating. I knew the people. I knew the past people that were in the building. And I knew how they died. And the Spirit Talker, without telling these two, the Spirit Talker knew. And it was firing out time and time
and
again.
I know that some people will say, oh, well, it's because it's listening to you, it knows.
No.
And yes, if they said that and it's like, oh, well, that was your phone, and so you knew, but it wasn't your phone.
Mine was on and yours.
No one spoke about it.
Yeah, so this came through my phone and through Tracy's phone.
Yeah.
And we did not know.
And like obviously I speak to the guy that's designed the Spirit Talker app, and he says it's not everything that's coming through isn't paranormal, but it's just that one chance, or that one, if it is a spirit coming through, and able to manipulate it and use it to speak to us, it's fantastic. Which obviously 90% of the time, sometimes it's just nonsense, but then it's just like 5 minutes of the evening.
Yeah.
You're just having a full blown conversation.
Which, and that sort of ties in with what we find whenever we do investigations, that you'll get like a burst of activity which will last sort of like 5-10 minutes, and then it will go completely sort of like quiet again, won't it? Yeah. And that's why when we are getting the responses that are so spot on, that are giving us Christian names and surnames of people and how they died, how they passed away.
Quite specific.
It was
very
specific.
Yeah.
That I myself did not know at all, coming through on my phone, and the same with Tracy and her phone. How do you debunk that?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
To get, as I said, Christian names, surnames, and how they passed. How can you debunk that?
Instant.
And you can't, can you?
And grandmother names.
Yes.
And they all died in the same house.
But then going back to what you were saying about apps being disguised in
everything,
in paranormal devices, because this Spirit Talker app is exactly the same, if not better,
more powerful
than like the Ovilus that people use.
Yeah, because the Ovilus is just
the same.
Because you can't update the Ovilus. The Ovilus is just being basically, think of a computer
box.
game, an old old computer game. That's it. That's set for that era, and that's it. It can't be updated. But I don't know. A lot of people do try and debunk them. But there's so much in tech your phone. People do not understand how powerful our phones are in our pockets.
No, I mean we've caught EVPs and
we've caught everything from the microphones and everything.
Yeah,
but we're not saying everything is 100% true.
No.
Paranormal.
No.
And conversations, they're always spirits talking to us, because at the end of the day, if we're in an old building from the 1800s, if I was from the 1800s, I wouldn't go nowhere near the phone.
No.
You wouldn't. You'd be like, if you could see that, obviously, if you was in the Vale and you could see beyond us while we're walking around and we're putting these weird tech devices that are emitting this massive radiation, you'd be like, I'm staying away from that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's like, now, if we die, obviously, maybe spirit, like when we die, if people were ghost hunting with the spirit talker, we're going to go to it.
Because we know it.
Because we know it.
Yes.
And it's so hard to try, and obviously, everything's debunkable at the end of the day.
Because nobody actually knows the answer. This is the thing. We get people out there that think they know everything, and they don't. They don't know the answer.
And
They are surmising, which is what everybody does as a paranormal investigator. Yeah. We surmise that this is interacting with a ghost. Yeah. Until a ghost can go, hi, it's me. It's me that's doing that.
I've had that before.
No one, is ever going to know. It's ever going to know. However, we use this kind of equipment to support what we're feeling, what our emotions are, what we've physically seen with our own eyes, what we've physically heard with our own ears. It's just a backup. Yeah. Because if you can see something and the camera picks it up, that's double evidence to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's double evidence, isn't it?
And I would we are definitely. It is a hard
it's a hard
place
gig
to be. Do you know what I mean? Paranormal investigations. We do it as a hobby. We don't want pain, do we? We don't want to make a living out of it, because you can't. Because look at all the TV shows on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty much. They're made for entertainment.
Yeah, and that is not why we do it. You know.
No.
If we wanted to. You know, if that's what we wanted to do, then we would be dishing out episode weekly of different sort of scenarios. You know, we're being dragged downstairs, we're having things thrown at us, all those sorts of things. But we're just not into that. You know, bottles moving across the table, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Oh, ding, ding, yeah.
Yeah,
so, but we're not into that.
In the daylight?
Yeah. And we, you know, that's not what we're about, you know.
No.
We're not here to make money. We are here because we love it, and we are searching for paranormal evidence.
For the truth.
And we love
for the truth. And when we first set out, what did we say? We will use every bit of equipment that is out there until we find what works and what doesn't work, until we can debunk it. We might end up
what we perceive.
Works. What we perceive as works, because we're not saying it's 100% anyway, are we?
It's the same with Ouija boards, though. You know, we don't use them. We've never had any proper response from them, but there is this. There's the mystery behind them, and I think, and I think people from hundreds of years ago died. You know, they were frightened of these things.
Yeah.
And so that's why we have them as more of a trigger object than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a trigger object.
Yeah.
But then I see it in my eyes when we're hunting. So we're from the 1900s. Yeah. Everybody knew what a spirit or Ouija board was.
Yeah.
Why don't they go to it to try and communicate with us?
Yeah. Look at the situation.
That's the trouble. But then it's like the simple K2. How much do we really use that now?
Not a great deal.
We have them on.
We have them
on. And
but obviously we are with the K2. It picks up magnetic fields and obviously radio waves and stuff like that. Yeah. So over time, we've had some really good responses. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah.
Good responses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But tech in our world now, everything's radio waves, Wi-Fi waves, and stuff like that now. But it's so debunkable now. Until you're having a full-blown conversation with something, you're requesting something to put that light into the red, we just can't. A couple of blips here and a couple of blips there. It could be someone across the road who's got a text message that's just run through the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we tend not to use that.
I mean, they are on when we do investigations.
Yeah, they are on.
You know, it's more of a. Just them being there, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't really use it as a source.
No. But if there was an instance where, you know, the other week, we were doing a mini investigation. We had 3 K2s on the table.
We did.
We had some very different people around the table.
Yes.
Not the usual people, and the 3 K2s were in the red.
Yes.
And they were staying.
That was weird.
In the red. I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. I probably just swallowed a fly or something.
But the fourth one wasn't going off as much that was over this side.
No, it was more around.
But then see, for me,
special guests that we had,
yeah, I know, but for me,
but that is an experiment that I do want to try again.
But it is an experiment. It's an interesting experiment because it was so. It was just incredible, in your face kind of stuff that was going on.
Yeah,
and it's not.
We'd never experienced anything like that before.
No, by having these individuals.
Yeah, and it is something that I do want to do again.
I don't know how that would work, but
I'm sure we'll have the opportunity.
I'm pretty sure we would, but we probably won't be able to record it.
No,
maybe
we can't.
Record hands.
Too young.
Maybe I can record hands.
Yeah.
Record hands and.
Yeah. So our special guests they were children basically.
Yeah.
They wanted to go on a ghost hunt, and obviously we can't put them on YouTube.
Children.
Not tiny children. No, mine. They were mine, okay? They were mine. They're all mine.
Like young kids wanted to do it.
The ones that wanted to come in because
they were young teenagers, so they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't like
adults yet.
But they're not allowed to go onto YouTube because they're underage.
Because they're underage, so which is why we don't film them.
Yeah.
But we had. Sorry, I just seen a shadow, but it was my head. We had the opportunity because we'd stayed here for the entire weekend, which was amazing,
phenomenal,
so much fun. And the kids were like, can we just go in and have a look around and maybe we'll do a little bit of a mini ghost hunt and stuff. I was like, don't know how we feel about this, but they were so adamant that they were prepared and they wanted to come in and do it, so we did a mini ghost hunt with them. And the phenomenal stuff that they got, and they were calling out, it was all them, it was, you know, we were here supervising, basically we were the support. They just basically did it themselves, didn't they? So they obviously, you know, we've obviously heard me at home.
But the thing is, as I said, we've never experienced K2 activity like that. Ever.
And obviously they are on now, and we still haven't
and they're
experienced
in the same place on the table.
We haven't experienced it again since that night.
But
not
also
again.
what they saw as well.
Oh, what they saw.
They saw things as well.
So
it's really hard, isn't it?
It is hard.
Really hard.
It is hard.
Try and perceive everything as paranormal. Not unless you're getting picked up and dragged down the stairs backwards by nothing. I don't think anybody's ever going to believe, even if that did happen to you and you caught that on camera, there is 90% of people that still wouldn't believe it.
Oh, exactly.
And obviously the field is so, and it is massive. There is so many people doing it now, and a lot of people.
But there are no experts. There's no such thing as an expert in this field because nobody knows.
Just trying.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. And there are a few. Like, don't get me wrong. There are new people coming out, and they like to put. I'm not slagging you off or anything, but because you're new and young to the thingy, obviously we've been doing it for years, and as soon as something little happens, it's a ghost. As soon as this happens, it's a ghost. But that will come with experience over the years. That will come with experience over the years, and there's no point slating these people.
I do think it's more about support than it is to bring down. I think if these new people that are starting out, you know, doing investigations and stuff like that, and if one of them dropped me a message and said, hi, can you help me out with this, I would be the first to reply. Because I don't believe in bringing people down. It's about lifting people up.
And
as
just be a bigger
corny as
group.
that may sound, you can then work together as a community, not be backbiting each other 24/7.
Yeah.
And that's what really pisses me off in this field, and I'm not even going to lie about it.
We haven't had really no arguments yet, have we? We've had no one, and we're open to it. Check our videos out, debunk them. I'm happy.
The thing is that we don't put ourselves out there to engage in people that are
like,
toxic.
But
we're not like, look at us, or
we're
oh my
not
god,
out
we're
there
so
to make-
amazing. Oh,
We're not out there-
we're not like that.
We're not out there to make £1,000,000 TV
Well,
show, but
it's
I don't think you ever will.
It's impossible unless you're faking stuff. It is impossible to make money in this field unless you are faking stuff.
And it's
That's
all to
the
do-
bottom line of it, because people only want to watch things that are being faked and things that are being there for put in for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and
that
advertisers
is the
want to
bottom line of it.
entertain people. You keep people gripped.
The
And
thing
you can't
is-
do that in this
no,
field.
No.
The paranormal world is a funny thing, and I didn't realise how bad it was actually until I invested all my time into FDL. That how bad it is. But I've always stand by, there's never enough evidence to prove that the paranormal world exists, but there's equally not enough evidence to prove that it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'll always stand by that, because no matter what we do,
What was that?
did you hear that? Right, no matter what we do, we will always go, oh, say if that was a noise, we'll have a look at that. Oh, it could have been this, or it could have been that. We are never, even as investigators now, we are never satisfied, which is what makes us come back and do it and time and time and time again. Because the best evidence that I believe that we've had has come from things like EVPs.
Yeah.
The electro voice phenomena and the DVPs that we've had have been amazing.
Yeah, I think they're probably...
They're credible evidence. That's
Yeah,
credible evidence.
I think all our, obviously, I don't know what to say in DVP, I don't know why, but all our EVPs and stuff like that, they're so... You can't debunk them. Because where does that noise come
Where
from?
does it come from?
Yeah.
Where does that noise come
Where
from?
does it come? Right, now just going. Sorry, Mick, to cut you off, but just going back, because when we did the investigation here with Paranormal Diaries in the mill, and the spirit talker, which I'll name drop again, said, "Listen for my voice."
Oh, yeah.
Listen for my voice, it said. I spanned the camera around because I could hear humming, and I know that you say, "Oh, I'm tuned into that kind of tonal range of like humming." And I could hear it. So as I spin the camera round, listen for my voice, hello, from a child. There's no children in there.
And we didn't hear.
We didn't hear it.
hello.
We didn't hear it.
We did not hear,
Didn't hear it at
hello.
the time. Didn't hear it at the
No,
time.
it wasn't until you did the edit, and it is clear as day.
It's clear as day.
So please go and have a look.
Have a look at that
Said something
episode.
else
Certainly
as
with
well,
Paranormal
doesn't it?
Yeah, so
Diaries.
it said hello, and then there was I went, I've just heard your voice. And then it said, something play with me.
Yeah.
Play with me. Something like that along those lines. I couldn't
it's so
quite make
clear.
out the first bit, but it was definitely play with me on the end. But at the time, I heard the humming, didn't
nothing
hear the
else.
voices.
No.
And when I did the edit, I checked. I went through everybody's lips. Check, check. Make sure nobody was making a movement, sound coming from their mouths or anything. And
There's nothing.
there was nothing there. So, to me, the credible evidence comes from things like EVPs
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
DVPs. The DVP we caught at Galleries of Justice.
Yep.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Bridgeton Hall.
Oh,
Anyone want
gives
to
me
play
the
with me?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird. And I think that
and Ashbourne Hall as well, the one that I caught on my phone.
Yeah.
So, and you, as I say, as you say, that's the credible evidence of things that you can't
That's me.
debunk it.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't. Not EVPs and stuff like that. And obviously there's a lot of non-believers and there's a lot of believers, and I just think I debunk a lot of stuff, don't I, when we're editing.
But then you've got to remember that we came from being sceptical. Do you know what I mean? We were believers.
Yeah, and then
We needed evidence. We
Yeah.
needed
Yeah.
proof. We needed verification.
Yeah,
we needed certain things.
yeah, because we
to happen
we
to
went
us.
on group events and you get a lot of people in there going, oh, it's crap, it's everywhere, there's 40 people in here, there's 20 people in here, which obviously I know a lot of people can't afford to go and hire out these places for just a group of 3 or 4 of you, which is a bit rubbish because and it is a bit rubbish because obviously
do you want to explain what that is?
I will do it in a minute. It is rubbish, but obviously we've been lucky enough to turn this into a hobby, which obviously costs us a fortune, but obviously we don't get paid for nothing. But we don't want people to pay us to go round hunting. You shouldn't have to.
No.
You should be able to go and see what we've done and then go and copy it or go on an event, or try and get a lone vigil, try and go and do stuff, because it's a lot cheaper to go on an event for an individual than it is to go and hire out the whole place as an individual.
Or if any teams are watching and they want to do a collab, we're more than happy.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
We are more than happy to come along.
Yeah, we'll do a collab with you, and then we'll take it from our experience, because obviously we've got years of experience, haven't we now? So
I think you learn from other people as well.
Yeah, and if you're new and you want to do a collab and you're like, or you've come out of an events group, or you've come out of here, and what you know is the script, do this, do that, oh, that's a ghost, this is a ghost. Well, no, actually, it's not. Some 99% of the time, it's not. If you're in a group of 20 people, someone hasn't turned their phone into airplane mode, so they're getting K2 hits. Or, oh, it's a ghost, it's a ghost.
Did you hear that bang? And when you're standing in a room full of 20 people.
Yeah, I know, and it's hard. And we've been lucky enough to set up our group, haven't we, and go on our own. And a lot of times,
it's been hard.
I am a shitbag when I'm on my own. I'll admit it.
No, you're not, are you?
I am. And we get the chance to do lone vigils.
Did you just call yourself a shitbag?
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
A shitbag?
When we do lone vigils.
Yeah, you are.
I'm always the one running away. I don't last 2 minutes.
You mean you're a scaredy cat?
Yeah.
Not a shitbag.
No, I am a shitbag when it comes to that.
No, but a shitbag.
Crap bag.
Somebody that's
Banana
horrible.
hammock.
So that's somebody who's not very nice. See, I would just call you a pussy.
No, I am. And it does get scary, doesn't it? Some places we go to.
Yeah.
And I've always said, when we go to these locations that we've never seen, and they're creepy as hell, we should go and do our lone vigils first, because instead of investigating first and then we get loads of activity, then it makes it even harder for you to just go off on your own.
Yeah.
But
It is
I was discussing with Nicola the other day, I really, really want to go back to...
No.
Where?
Where's the one in Wales we went to? The big place. Judges' Lodgings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what I want to do...
Like Judges'
for
Lodgings.
entertainment purposes only, is one of us stand at the top of the courtroom and one of us stand at the hallway in the living room, and one person go down with a camera and walk through the hole underneath by themselves.
Let me tell you now, absolutely not a chance from me.
But you obviously...
We went down there, didn't we, together, and oh my days, we couldn't get out of there quick enough.
Yeah.
Did we?
I'll come next.
But...
It was horrific, but the place is gorgeous.
Okay. But
It's lovely.
Okay, so but what if
It goes
if it
fast.
was during the day? Do you think you could do it during the day? What is it about night time?
I don't like the dark.
Because you can't see.
Yeah, but during the day.
Yeah, but sometimes during the day, I'll
Turn
still...
the lights on.
Turn the
Yeah,
lights
but
on.
It'll be
it's
pitch black
dark.
down there, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it'd still be
Yes.
dark, and it'd
But-
still be eerie.
But, see,
don't
I would do that for entertainment purposes because I am... whatever you want to call me.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I put me like
I think I would end up hurting myself because I'd run into a wall.
Because you're a shitbag.
Or the camera equipment would be broken.
The thing is, when we
We'd
got lost,
probably
didn't
get more
we?
views.
Yeah.
We did get lost though down there.
What?
We did get lost down there.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
bad. But
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that. And when you're a team and you're a new team, you've got to start pushing the limits a little bit and expecting
Yeah.
a little bit more. Just
Yeah.
trying to... The key thing is trying to debunk everything. Because generally, if it's too good to be true,
It normally is.
it normally is.
Yeah.
And if there was ghosts all around us and there's paranormal activity all the time, there'd be so much reported, and I think scientists would start looking into it a bit more. We could go to a location and get nothing.
We could.
We could, and we have done.
We have.
And we've walked out of there and went, that was a waste of 8 hours, and gone home.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, how many people just when they're at home start calling out? I mean, you don't, do you?
No, because you're too scared for it to be in your house.
But but if you did,
And see what you got.
yeah, you might get a response if you did call out at sort of random places during the day at home. I was talking to the girls in the office only yesterday. We've had a few things with like taps being left on, and they're thinking that it's like various staff members, and I'm jumped on it straight away, and I'm like, but that could be paranormal. There you go.
So the bell that's going off
the ding dong
is another app, but it's run on the phone. Obviously, I'll call it the Spirit Bell, which the same guy made a Spirit Talker. So basically, the Spirit Bell, how that dings is if your phone moves or your phone is touched.
touch.
Yeah, so basically,
Touch.
if I touch it
Very
now,
feely,
which I will
touchy.
show,
Touch it.
it's going off. So phone in airplane mode and just leave it settled.
We've also
And it runs, I think basically it runs off the movement, compass, orientation, gyroscope and pressure sensor, and there is an EMF in there, but I think he might have took that sensor right
I'm
down.
just going to switch my light on quickly. Oh no, okay. It's the brick wall.
So I like to use that app, which is pretty good, isn't it?
I'm a big fan of the what do we call it?
The bell.
The bell.
The Spirit Bell.
The Spirit Bell, yeah.
The Spirit Bell.
We've
But
had
it
some
is-
really good responses from that.
we have had good responses,
Yeah.
but it is still debunkable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is still debunkable.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, if you knock the table,
Yeah.
It has to
things
be
like
on
that.
command, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be on command and then verified.
Yeah.
And this is the thing: if you are getting it to activate on command,
It's different.
that's very different, isn't it?
Yes.
You know.
It's very different. But the REM pods as well. Just to mention the REM pods quickly.
They don't go off by wind.
Yeah, so somebody said that the REM pod is not a credible source of
Create
evidence.
some wind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we've had a REM pod in our kit bag for years and years. And
And hang on,
the
let me
only
just say, with the REM pod, if you all own one, you know it hardly ever goes off.
Yeah.
If you've got a decent REM pod, you all
hardly
know
ever goes off.
it never ever goes off really
Yeah,
unless
that-
you touch it.
3 times maybe.
Yeah. The only place I've had a REM pod go off is here at the lovely Chirp Mill.
Our house.
And Castle Cottage.
And our house.
Oh, and our house, yeah.
Yeah.
But our
And
house
one
is
other
weird
time,
anyway.
there's one other time,
When was that?
Strelly.
Strelly Hall.
Oh,
When Ange was
yes, I
getting it.
forgot about
Strelly
Strelly
Hall.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've had it go
But
off in
that
the
was on
house.
command.
It was
Your
on,
REM pod was on command, and at
command.
Castle Cottage it was on command.
absolutely. And those are the 2 times
Yeah.
that particular REM pod
Went off.
has only ever gone off, hasn't it? And if you think of all the locations that we've done over the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and that REM pod has been with us, and it is always switched on,
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
and for it
Always.
to go off the way it did,
Yeah.
and it was on command.
And also to go off when we specifically asked to go beep beep,
yeah.
and it goes beep beep.
Yeah.
And then we asked it to go beep beep beep,
Yeah.
and it goes
And-
beep beep beep.
And that
So
footage,
that's another episode
I-
you could watch.
that
Castle
footage
Cottage.
I sent,
Castle
that
Cottage.
footage I sent to one of the biggest skeptics in the field,
Oh yeah.
and he even come back and went, "I've got nothing to say about that." He says,
Can't debunk that.
"I can't debunk that, paranormal or not. I don't know." He
Yeah.
said, "But it is good."
Yeah.
And how he goes, "I can't tell you why that has done that." So, and he's normally a tech guy. He's very skeptical.
He's very clever.
You could put a
Yeah.
little clip of it in
Yeah.
here
You know,
Yeah.
when this episode goes
play
out.
clip,
Yeah.
play clip,
Now.
play
Play
clip,
clip.
Play
Play
clip.
Play clip.
play clip.
Clip. Play clip.
But yeah, so yeah, that's
So that's
Where
our
we're
little
at.
bit of our bit of a rant slash discussion on.
And these
equipment.
are the main pieces of equipment that we use. Obviously, we've got cameras, microphones. We do use our phones to film sometimes, not very
Sometimes.
often.
Like you
But,
might have caught
yeah.
something tonight on
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah,
Just
possibly
randomly.
may have caught something tonight. So that's us.
That's us. That's our end of our discussion.
That's it. I've got a new topic.
So yeah, we'll cut it.
So we're gonna say goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
I was gonna say.
Do that bit again. Do that bit again so it flows now.
No, it doesn't matter. Just carry on. Just be us.
Well, I didn't say goodbye.
Still say goodbye.
Just say right.
Keep this bit in. It's funny.
No, it's not funny.
Oh, right. So that's a wrap. Coast to coast. Sorry. Sorry, briefly. Sorry. Bye, guys. Bye. See you soon.
See you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.